Welcome to A Course in Business Miracles. This is Heather Dominic, creator of businessmiracles.com and founder and leader of the highly sensitive entrepreneur movement. Join me today for some genuine practical assistance and a business-altering and life-changing experience, a business miracle. This is A Course in Business Miracles, episode number 72. HSE feature with musician Chelsea McGough. Welcome to this Business Miracles HSE feature episode. I am just so thrilled to be featuring Chelsea McGough as a member of the Business Miracles community and as a successful, highly sensitive entrepreneur. Chelsea, aside from being a valued member of the Business Miracles community, is a Nashville-based cellist, composer, and producer. In 4 short years as a full-time musician, she has done 3 nationwide tours, was a featured cello soloist in the major motion picture I Can Only Imagine, and now works as a full-time staff artist for Soundstripe, a music licensing company quickly becoming one of the top resources for click-to-license music. Her music has been described as evocative, transportive, and otherworldly, and her productions have been featured in films, television, social media, and ad campaigns all over the world. In addition to her work at Soundstripe, she continues to participate in outside film projects and recently returned from working abroad in Germany. Her goal for her music is to provide a space for the listener to slow down and connect in with themselves. You will absolutely want to listen in as I talk with Chelsea about how she started her journey in Nashville, feeling like she had to be everything for everyone in order to be a successful musician, and how the Business Miracles teachings and mentoring supported her to shift into trusting herself so she could hone her own unique genius and individuality. This has led to a 133% income increase from 2017 to 2018, and then another 50% income increase in 2019. She has been able to create a sustainable income as a musician in a way that works for her as an HSE. It is such an honor to be a part of Chelsea's HSE journey, and I am so pleased to be sharing this very special episode with you today. Chelsea, welcome to the Business Miracles podcast.
Thank you so much, Heather, for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I am really excited for you to be here. I am just so looking forward to having the opportunity to just, have the sacred time to talk to you and really highlight and feature just all of the, amazingness that's been a part of your HSE journey since I've known you. So yay, and welcome. Yes.
Thank you.
So let's start. You're welcome. Yeah, let's start off, and I'll just kind of give context for listeners that you are in the Business Miracles Elite Mentoring Program, and you and I first connected, I think it was the spring of 2016. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So let's dial back to that time. And what do you remember about when you and I first connected and really, specifically about, discovering that you were a highly sensitive entrepreneur?
Sure. So I connected with you in May of 2016, and I had heard of you and your work for many years before that through one of your long-term clients, Rebecca Zook. She's a good friend of mine, and I think somewhere in that time I discovered I was highly sensitive. I actually don't remember the exact moment, which to me it seems like it was just a natural evolution of coming to know that I was highly sensitive. I think that whenever I took the quiz online, I was not surprised at all that I was highly sensitive. But it wasn't until I moved to Nashville beginning of 2016 that she recommended I contact you about mentoring.
Mm-hmm. Well, I love that because, first and foremost, what I love about it, what I love about it is that it was organic, right? Because I think for those of us who are highly sensitive, we do have some sense of understanding and knowing that there's something different about us. And so when we maybe, take like the HSE quiz that's on the businessmiracles.com website, or connect with Dr. Erin and her work, or any other way that we might, quote unquote, officially discover we're highly sensitive, it's not so much of like a shock, but it's more of like, oh, now I get it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, everything makes more sense now.
Yes. And I also appreciate, that you mentioned Rebecca, who is also part of the Business Miracles community, because I think it's really so valuable when, other HSEs are sharing the fact that they are an HSE with those who are close to them. So, I really appreciate that about the connection, between you and Rebecca, and that, both of you are in the community and, doing such individual work that's amazing, but also there, as support for each other, just now in this kind of bigger context way, of the HSE journey. So I love that. Appreciate all of that. So since 2016, we have been traveling this journey together, and the transformation that has occurred for you has really been, quite incredible, and definitely on my part an honor to be a part of. But what would you say, the difference being a part of the Business Miracles community and your mentoring program, what difference has that really made for you?
Yeah, it's made a massive difference. I mean, it's changed everything, because when I moved to Nashville at the beginning of 2016, I had no plan, no real business in place. I didn't even have a job. I had really nothing. I moved to Nashville with 2 suitcases and my cello and a list of connections. And so working with you 4 months later and being able to build everything with the support of the community has been a massive difference. I feel like I'm so grateful that I started off this whole journey with support from the get-go, because I think I've just saved myself so much heartache and struggle that I see so many other people have. And it really just, I feel like, expedited the success and the growth and the evolution that much more.
Yes. I would really agree with you. And it's really fantastic, that you can see that, because it really does just make such a difference for those of us who are highly sensitive, especially, to really be able to, have a container of support, both from a curriculum perspective, the teachings, that I share in support of highly sensitives and their entrepreneurial journey. But again, also that community that we've been talking about. It just really, it does keep you focused, right? And so of course, then there's going to be an acceleration versus when we're unfocused and scattered and, really caught in shadows such as overwhelm. So one of the things that we talk about in Business Miracles a lot is like the inner and outer approach. And so I know that you have so beautifully shared with me before that, the difference being part of the community has made for you, from an outer perspective and then also an inner perspective. So I'd love for you to speak to that, the clarity between the two changes, both outer and inner.
Sure. So as far as the inner, I started off my journey in Nashville feeling like I had to be everything for everyone in order to be a successful musician. And the Business Miracles teaching and the mentoring has really helped me shift out of that and into trusting myself more, and also just honing and cultivating my own unique genius and individuality, which in turn has affected the outer. That has led to 133% increase from 2017 to 2018, and then another 50% increase this year. And to be able to create a sustainable income as a musician in a way that works for me has been amazing. I could go on and on about all the changes, both inner and outer, but that's the gist of it.
And it's a beautiful gist for sure. And just to clarify, that 133% and 50% increase is income, right?
Yes.
I just didn't want anyone thinking like I have like 133% more puppies, or like,
Yes. Let that important word out. Money.
Yes, right? Which is absolutely like so beautiful because of that inner and outer approach that we take within the Business Miracles mentoring programs. The income and the increase, such as 133% since 2018, or 50% since the summer of 2019, is evidence of the inner shifts and experiences that you have been creating because of the ways that you have fully shown up, for what I like to say is the real work, within the mentoring program. So it's really, really beautiful. It's again, an honor to be a part of and to witness. And it's really, beautiful to see you coming more and more into your own. Now, in addition to inner and outer, we have, so many other teachings as part of, our mentoring curriculum. But what would you say is maybe, one Business Miracles teaching that you can think of that has been most impactful for you when it comes to, the inner and outer success that you've created?
Sure. I think one of the most impactful teachings has been your teaching on the coping cycle and the pushing and hiding. That has really, it shows up everywhere, but to be able to see it and be aware of how the coping cycle shows up in all aspects of my life has been pretty massive for me, because I identify more as a hider. And it really, it does affect everything. And I remember we talked about that the very first training retreat I went to, and I felt like I just had this huge awakening about how I've been living my life up until that point. And I was like, okay, we need to work on this. And it's really, I think working on that is, we talked about the inner work, working on the coping and the hiding has really been a major priority of mine since working with you. And I've seen so much progress with other aspects of my life because that's been a priority of mine.
So beautifully said. And for anyone who's listening who maybe doesn't have the full reference when Chelsea is speaking about the HSE coping cycle, we definitely have many podcast episodes that speak to both the HSE coping mechanisms and the HSE coping cycle that I've created. So I definitely recommend listening to those episodes. But in particular, for what you just shared, Chelsea, is the coming out of hiding, like really giving that a focus for yourself. And I think back to just, the last few months and really, over the summer, this summer of 2019, what would you say is a significant way, maybe in the last few months, that you've been willing to come out of, that coping mechanism of hiding and allow yourself to be in VNV, visibility and vulnerability in your business?
Sure. So I had the opportunity to live in Europe this summer. It's been a dream on my long-term list for several years. And I was traveling and living in Germany for a couple months while still working. And I really wanted to share this experience. And so I created a new marketing plan that included social media and posting my travels regularly on social media, and also being vulnerable on social media, which has in the past been very challenging for me. It still is challenging, but so many beautiful things came out of that marketing plan and the willingness to share and not hide the wonderful experiences I had in Europe. Yeah.
Yes. It was so fun to watch your summer Germany adventure unfold on social media. It was even more fun because I saw the initial seed of the creation of that marketing plan that you had really worked on, with your Business Miracles Elite Accountability Coach. So to really be able to see it from like its seedling germination, all the way through to just some incredible photos and videos that you were posting, as well as being able to hear your music. It was just, a really wonderful, full, cycle, a healthy, right, creation cycle to be able to witness rather than the coping cycle. So it's really fantastic. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'd like to add that even now, I feel like I'm still reaping the benefits of that, because prior to Germany, I would overthink every post to the max and just overanalyze. And now when I share, it's just not a big deal. It feels more natural. And to me, that tells me that I am coming out of hiding a little bit more each time.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so glad that you spoke to that, because I know that there's other highly sensitive entrepreneurs listening who, tend towards the coping cycle of hiding, who can relate, to that analysis paralysis, right? And just the overthinking and how much energy that takes, and the ways that it can weigh you down, versus this, newfound freedom and a greater sense of lightness, which really is, again, the difference between coping and creating, right? Coping is, a very heavy energy to be carrying around and experiencing, versus the lightness of creating. So again, so glad you spoke to that. Yeah. And you're an artist, so you're meant to be in that creative energy. I mean, we all are as HSEs, since that's one of our strengths, but, especially for yourself. So I'm so glad that that's a greater part of your experience, for sure.
Yeah.
And what would you say has been one of the most valuable, parts of being a part of the Business Miracles community and mentoring programs that, has supported you in being able to create something, like the social media campaign that we just spoke about?
Yeah, being a part of the community has been such a gift for me, because I think before joining the community, I thought that making six figures was for like 5 people in the entire world. And I could never be one of those people. And now that I'm in the community, I am a part of this group of women where there's so much evidence of making a lot of money in a way that feels really good, and also living a life that you're proud of, and being at peace with that. And it's really widened the scope of possibility for me. Because I look at other people in the community and I think, well, if they can do it, then maybe I can do it. And it's really given me the boost and the accountability, of course, to be able to really go for that, go for what I want. The income, the peace, the time, the energy, all of it.
Yeah. Wow. That is just so fantastic, because you're right. When we're in community as HSEs, we look out and we see others who are like us, right? Versus since we're only 20% of the global population, is often when we're, looking out into other communities, we see others who, are creating success, in their own right and in their own way, but they're not necessarily highly sensitive. So it can really kind of, it can really bring in those very typical, highly sensitive doubts of, I'm different and I'm not enough, versus what you so beautifully described is you really are looking at mirrors. And I love hearing that, and knowing that it's definitely been a part of your experience, because it's very true. It is truly part of the power of being able to be in aligned community with other HSEs. So yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, and even just knowing that we're all on the same journey together, we're all delving into our own real work and evolution together, just makes it so much better. I mean, I don't think that I could do this type of work on my own. And so to have the support of the coach team, you and the community, really, it just makes it possible. And it makes it even fun, at the training retreats. And yeah, it's so much better shared with people.
So true. So true. So well said. So what advice would you have for other HSEs who perhaps are listening and thinking like, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure if that could be me? What would you say to them?
Well, I used to be that person, like I just said, and I would say that you can absolutely have what you want. You can find and create the life that you want, but support is imperative, and there is support out there for you. Absolutely.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I just had the inspired hit to also ask you, Chelsea, do you have a sense of what's next for you in your creative HSE journey?
Ooh, that's a good question. I was thinking about this the other day. I have a few ideas for 2020, but it kind of falls along the lines of, similar to my marketing plan with Germany, being more visible on like YouTube and hiring other musicians in Nashville to work with me on my music. Because I currently work at home by myself most of the time, and coming out of hiding, including people into my projects and letting people into my creative process with some YouTube tutorials, possibly. Those are a couple of ideas that are on dock, but we'll see what the training retreat shows me.
Yes. I was just thinking about that as I was listening to you. I was thinking, one, that is super exciting and sounds and feels very inspired and divinely guided. And as an elite member, you'll be working on your next 6-month diamond plan. And I so look forward to seeing what actually really shows up on that diamond plan for you, and being a part of supporting you and bringing that next diamond plan to fruition. So really, really beautiful, Chelsea. So, where can listeners, you're welcome. Where can listeners, find out more about you and be a part of your amazing social media campaigns and hear your incredible music, where can they see what success you're creating as an HSE?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram under Chelsea McGough, on Facebook under Chelsea McGough Music, and you can find my music on any and all streaming platforms such as Spotify, Apple Music, and iTunes.
Awesome. And I highly recommend that you find out where Chelsea is and you find a way to follow her and absolutely listen to her music. It is otherworldly. It is so incredibly transporting, and it's miraculous in its own right. So please definitely go see what Chelsea is up to as an HSE. You're so welcome, Chelsea. Yeah. It's been so fun and lovely talking to you in this way. So thanks so much for being willing to be visible.
Fun. Yes, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Awesome. You're so welcome. All right. Until next time. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of A Course in Business Miracles. If you're ready to learn how to use your highly sensitive abilities to support you in being purposeful, profitable, and empowered rather than scattered, poor, and undervalued, take my free self-quiz to find out if you are indeed a highly sensitive entrepreneur. And if you are, along with your quiz results, you'll receive my free HSE Success Guide, which will teach you how to have your highly sensitive abilities working for you to create the results you desire in your business. Take the quiz and receive your free success guide now at www.hsequiz.com.